Hello, learners! Welcome back to the English podcast. My name is James.
And I am Maria. We're excited to have you with us today.
Yes, today, we're going to talk about some fun and useful ways to improve your English skills. We'll cover listening, speaking, reading, writing, and more.
That sounds great, James. Let's start with listening skills. Listening is very important when learning a new language. What do you think?
I completely agree. Listening helps you understand different accents and speaking styles. One of my favorite ways to practice listening is by tuning into English songs or podcasts.
Exactly. Songs are a great way to learn new vocabulary and phrases. Plus, they're fun. Do you have a favorite English song that you enjoy listening to?
Yes, I love Imagine by John Lennon. The lyrics are beautiful and easy to understand. It's also a great song to think about its message.
That's a classic. I really enjoy Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. The rhythm makes it easy to remember the words, and it's catchy.
Great choice! After listening, you can try to sing along. It helps with pronunciation and rhythm.
Yes, another tip is to listen to audiobooks. They are perfect for hearing clear pronunciation and intonation.
Absolutely. You can find audiobooks on various platforms. Just make sure to choose books at your level.
Now, let's move on to speaking. How can students practice their speaking skills effectively?
One way is to find a language partner. You can practice speaking with someone who is also learning English. It's a great way to learn together.
That's a good idea. You can also join language exchange groups in your community or online. Speaking with native speakers can also help you improve.
Right, you can also practice speaking in front of a mirror. It helps build confidence and allows you to see your expressions.
Yes, and don't forget to use simple sentences at first. It's perfectly okay to make mistakes.
Exactly, making mistakes is part of learning. Now, let's shift to reading. What are some good ways to improve reading skills?
Reading books or articles in English is very helpful. Start with children's books or short stories to build your confidence.
That's a great suggestion. There are also many websites with easy English news articles that you can read.
Yes, websites like News and Levels have news stories tailored for different levels of English learners.
Fantastic! You can also try reading blogs that interest you. This makes reading more enjoyable.
Absolutely. And when you find new words, try to write them down and look up their meanings.
Great tip! This brings us to writing. How can students improve their writing skills?
Keeping a journal is a good practice. Write about your day or your thoughts in English. It helps you express yourself.
I love that idea. You can also try writing short stories or essays. Start simple and gradually add more complexity.
And don't forget to read what you write. It helps you see your mistakes and improve.
Exactly, you can also join online forums or writing groups where you can share your writing and receive feedback.
Yes, constructive feedback is valuable for improvement. Now, let's talk about vocabulary. How can learners build their vocabulary effectively?
Using flashcards is a fun way to learn new words. You can write the word on one side and the meaning on the other.
Great tip! You can also use apps like Anki or Quizlet for digital flashcards. They help with spaced repetition, which is really effective for memory.
And try to use new words in sentences. It helps you remember them better.
Yes, another method is to label items around your house with their English names. It's a fun way to learn vocabulary in context.
That's a creative idea. Now, let's touch on the importance of watching movies or TV shows in English.
Watching movies is not only entertaining, but also educational. You can hear everyday conversations and learn colloquial phrases.
Right. You can use subtitles in your language first, then switch to English subtitles. This helps with understanding context.
That's a great way to understand the dialogue and learn new expressions. Plus, you get to see how people interact in different situations.
Speaking of expressions, let's discuss idioms. Idioms are phrases that have a different meaning from the literal one.
Yes, for example, it's raining cats and dogs means it's raining a lot. Not that animals are falling from the sky.
Exactly, learning idioms can make your English sound more natural. They are often used in conversation.
Another important aspect is understanding cultural context. Sometimes, idioms and phrases relate to cultural experiences.
That's true. Understanding the culture can help you understand the language better.
And don't be afraid to ask about things you don't understand. It's a great way to learn.
Yes, questions lead to deeper understanding. Now, let's talk about pronunciation.
Pronunciation can be tricky in English. Listening and repeating is very helpful.
Right, you can use online resources or apps that focus on pronunciation practice.
Another tip is to break words into smaller parts.
Great tip! This makes it easier to pronounce long words. Now that we've covered listening, speaking, reading, writing, vocabulary, watching, idioms, pronunciation, and goal setting, do you have any final tips for our listeners, Maria?
Be patient with yourself. Learning a language takes time, but every small step counts.
Absolutely. Celebrate your progress no matter how small.
And remember, practice is key. The more you use English, the better you will become.
Well said. Thank you for joining us today, learners. We hope you found these tips helpful.
Happy learning, everyone!
We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Feel free to reach out to us on social media or leave a comment. See you next time on the English Podcast.